Try that. No, that doesn't sound any better.
No.
Oh,
Do you have? Are you listening to the show or?
No. Let
you
me
sound
make
alright
sure I
now,
check.
I was
actually.
gonna say that now it sounds good.
Okay, I had a window open. Maybe that was it.
Okay. Oh, like an actual window open? I thought on the computer.
Yeah, that's not being on the computer.
Oh. Esther Ludlow, you are a podcaster, and your podcast is Once Upon a Crime,
Yes,
and
me.
it's all about true crime, the podcast for the true crime addict. I listened last night to, I think it was episode 33,
Uh-huh.
the last of the sweetheart killers. This story was crazy.
Yeah, I find some pretty crazy ones out there. That's what I look for.
Martha Beck, she was a real piece of garbage. Left her kids, like, just because of this one, the dude she met, Raymond Fernandez. She just left her kids at, what was it,
Yeah,
Salvation
welcome
Army.
to me. Yeah, see ya. Never looked back for 3 years. She
Wow.
didn't even know what happened to her kids or anything. She just was gone.
And then they went on to scam women. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And then they just got sloppy at the end. They went down and, like, because they ran, like, personal ads. When was it, Esther? In, like, the 30s or
Yeah, so it was in late 40s,
40s?
and apparently there used to be these things on in the newspapers called Lonely Hearts ads, and what that was I think what it mostly was is because this was after the war. This is right around the war where there's a lot of war widows, and so these women didn't have a lot of options as far as going out and having a career. So once if they had children and their husbands died or didn't come back from war or left them or whatever, they were pretty much stuck. So they would put these ads in the paper. The women would put these ads in the paper saying, you know, 30-year-old, female, blah, 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 looking for love or whatever. And then people would write back and forth to each other. And if they liked each other, they would meet. And this guy, Raymond Fernandez, he decided, oh, this is a good way for me to, meet these widows and basically, rob them of, all their assets. So that's how he started.
Awful.
Yeah. But then how did they, like, how did she, like, land him, though? Because he was just in it for
Yeah. See, that's the odd part of that story, I think, is that there was something about her that for some reason, I think it maybe just it started out, at least this is what he said, is that she was willing to do anything he told her to do.
Okay.
She was that, desperate, and, she was just a very lonely person. She'd never had, she'd been left by two men who had impregnated her, all of this, and, really didn't have a whole lot of options, I guess. And she just decided, hey, this is my man,
This
and
is
I'm
my
gonna do.
dude. So then they went together, and they were like, he was sleeping
Yeah.
with women, but she allowed him only to sleep with certain women, right? They had to be, like,
Right.
old women.
Oh.
Yeah, she got the 60-some plus
Right.
women and say, okay, yeah, that's fine, but she would still get very jealous. So it wasn't, it didn't work out so well.
And then they went down. What did they do? They killed one, and they were, like, writing letters to the person's family
Yeah.
as her, and
Wow.
and then
Yeah.
they just lived in her
Yeah.
house for a while and, like, partied.
Yeah, she actually killed the first woman. She said out of, she was just in a rage because she was so jealous, and she just decided to get rid of her. But, he helped at the end to, basically complete the act. But here's I didn't put in there because I didn't have a whole lot of, real corroboration about it. But apparently there was a woman where Spain, he used to live in Spain, that also, was killed and suspected him of getting rid of her. But so he already had a history, because a lot of people think, oh, she spurred him into murder. That's what happened. But there's some evidence that he may have already begun that before he met her.
Oh, okay. But he had a wife. Didn't he have a wife from there?
Yeah.
Or and
he
he
had a
was
wife in
writing to
Spain.
her. They both went to they both were on death row, her Martha and Raymond, and he was still writing home to his wife and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Right, and she knew. Martha knew that he was married and had a wife in Spain. And
She
kids.
didn't know. That's why I wasn't sure of.
Yeah, he told her. I mean, like I said at the beginning, he felt like he told her everything. He told her he was scamming these women and everything that was going on. And he also told her about his wife and kids, and she didn't care. She was just like, hey, she's over there, I'm here, whatever.
Esther, do you want to try calling us back on your phone, because it's still going in and out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see if I have that number.
Yeah, I was gonna say if not, I could send it. I think I have it open right now. Show phone number. Yeah, I'll just copy it and send it in Twitter.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I figure maybe if you call from the phone, maybe it'll be a little better. I don't know.
Okay. Let me try it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Where's Twitter? That fucking touchpad sucks. The mouse sucks today. I don't know why. The mouse is being all silly. It's all shaky and cool. I got it. Kind of. I clicked it. There we go. Message at Once Upon a Crime. Or yeah, that's it. Paste. Cool. Yeah, that story was crazy though, man. Like I said, they ended up in on death row. They both got the death penalty.
How many did they kill?
We'll have to ask. They were like using a checkbook. I think of the last one. Like they went to a movie. They were just like they could have got out of there and probably gotten away with it. And they just stayed in the lady's house.
Oh.
Esther.
Hi.
How you doing? So Slim had asked, how many people did they kill altogether?
Let's see how many was. Well, let's see. There was one, two, three. Three that they killed outright. There was one that he had drugged, and she ended up dying the next day. So that was four. Yeah, and they only charged him with the first one. The one in New York, because that's where they could have got them the death penalty. So they basically, they never tried him for the other ones because Michigan didn't have a death penalty and they wanted to fry him. So
I figured everything had the death penalty back then.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of that. I mean, a lot of the cases that I've noticed that's, when it's different, there's been a few that different states. The one before this or two before this, the Coleman and Brown, same thing. They were doing murders in I think it was 4 or 5 states, and they had talk about a tally of murders, a ton of them, and they basically just tried them for, I believe it was one. And again, it was a state that they knew could put them to death.
Wow. And what was I thinking of too when you said, like, you think they gave her the death penalty because of how she described it? How she said just all she heard was, like, the blood dripping and it just wouldn't stop and she just didn't have any remorse. Like, it was
no, none.
Crazy.
And and that's the thing, too, because some of the, the ones that I've been researching, the women who get the death, well, first of all, usually women don't get the death penalty. Like, if you heard the one before, which was Charles Starkweather and Carol Fugate, they didn't really even say that she was definitely part of it. Some people believe that she was killing with him. Some believe that she was just basically, his hostage. But anyway, he got the death penalty. He they killed him in the electric chair, but she got life in prison and then ultimately was paroled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one before that was a male and female team as well, and she didn't get she got the death penalty. She got sent to the death penalty with him, but then the governor, who was against the death penalty, commuted it, and he had actually commuted the sentences to life for several female death row inmates.
Wow.
So that was the interesting thing about this case, was because she actually, not only was she executed, she was executed on the same day. I mean, they might as well have done it, in the same chair at the same time.
Right, they should have just been holding hands. Like.
What did you ever like see anything like what happened to her kids or anything?
I'm pretty sure they probably got adopted and their names were changed. What I do know is that she, like I said, she did not try to contact them at all until she went to prison.
Oh, she did try to
prison.
Wow.
And then she started writing to them and put them on the list that they could come visit her at Rikers and all this. And, I don't believe they did. I don't think that happened.
Wow.
I know her mother did. Her mother visited her or wrote to her or something, but I think that might have been the only person.
I saw too. You did Joey Buttafuoco.
Yeah.
And Amy Fisher.
You know what? That episode was people love that. I mean, that was a really popular episode, which I
blast
was
from the
surprised
past.
people would even remember that. You know,
I remember those sweet workout pants he wore. He wore those sweet, like, Guido gym pants with the patterns.
Remember those parachute, those hammer pants? Yeah, I remember those.
Over here, Buttafuoco.
Joy Buttafuoco over here. That's all I remember
people
from
love
that.
one.
Yeah. Did he get out? Was he like? Because she just killed his wife, right? Like he didn't do.
She didn't even kill her. He shot her in the head, but she survived.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she still has the bullet in her head, but she survived.
Wow.
And was able, you know, I mean, like by the next day, I think, or a couple days later, she was in a coma for a couple days, but then she was able to say, you know, this is what this person looked like, and they picked her up really quick.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. Because this has been so long, I didn't remember the whole story of it.
Yeah, it was a crazy story. It was not only was it crazy for what happened, because it was a teenage girl and a 30-something-year-old married man, but you know, the fact that you know, the whole thing blew up about that, but then also there was a lot. They were really out there in the public. I mean, the guy was, you know, on the Howard Stern show, and you know, all of this was going on, and so it's like he kept it in the news, you know.
He wanted to ride that. I think like years later he was in like a celebrity boxing match on MTV.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, and the reason why they actually pressed charges on him for statutory rape is because he kept himself in the public eye, and they finally got sick of him, and they're like, you know what? No, we're just going to charge.
You got to get rid of this guy.
For the crap. You know, they just have had it with him, and the other thing that was crazy to me, because I didn't know this until I started researching it, that what has happened since then, you know, that she got into porn, and that they tried to have, the two of them tried to pitch a reality show together. It was, you know, Joey and Amy back together again, and, you know, all this crap, because he had, you know, his wife had divorced him since, and he had remarried and divorced again, I think. No, as a matter of fact, he was still married when that thing came out about the thing, and the wife told him, no, that ain't happening. So, so then, she got it because she was I forget what happened, but anyway, her husband that she had been married to for quite a while, she had a couple of kids and everything. She decided, you know, I guess she was going to divorce him and whatever, and he got mad, and he released a sex tape with her. And with his wife, you know, and figured out, hey, I can capitalize on this, you know, she's a name people know.
Wow.
And so he did that. And so instead of her, you know, saying, well, you know, you son of a bitch, you whatever, she decided, oh, okay, I'll launch my porn career now. You know? That's what
man. What, his ex-wife? Buttafuoco's ex-wife?
Yeah, but Amy Fisher.
Oh, Amy Fisher did. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So apparently she still has a porn channel, but you know, people were saying, how come you're not doing porn movies? And she said, people told me, you're too old, you need to get off the screen. So she stopped.
Wow. Wow. What other
I think she's like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what other like just crime stories have fascinated you?
Oh my gosh, that's what. You know, it's funny because when I started this, I kind of started doing the ones that I remembered, like that always stuck with me. You ever hear things that always stick with you? Like the Kitty Genovese story. The one where supposedly, you know, she had been, you know, raped and stabbed, and all these neighbors watched and nobody called for help.
Yes,
you know,
I've heard
that.
Happened.
Yeah, that happened in the 60s. And so when I researched that, I realized that wasn't exactly true.
Okay.
There was one guy who really was the one who could have called the police and probably saved her life and didn't do it. But really the rest of the neighbors didn't see anything. They didn't know what they had seen. It was all that kind of stuff. So that was one that always stuck with me. What are some of the other ones that... And then there was some that I found that I had never heard of that were really fascinating. So Brenda Spencer, who is, you know, considered the first school shooter in the United States, was a female, a 16-year-old female.
Would have never
When was that?
that.
I thought it was at Columbine.
This was in 1979. This was in San Diego. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hadn't heard that, and so that's a really popular one. People are like, oh my God, I never heard of that. And I'm like, yeah. First of all, you wouldn't think you might think it would be a teenager because, that's a lot of school shooters are teenagers, but not a female, and not that long ago. Most people hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Has there been any other female shooters since her?
I think I did see one, but I don't think it was in the U.S. and I can't remember. But yeah, I don't think so. I think she's pretty much stands alone.
What about the one in the 80s? There was one in the 80s. I had to have to look this up. I don't remember. But this kid, was, I think, sniping other kids and, killed one.
Oh.
And I got to look that. I gotta try to find that out. But I remember when I was a kid, right down the road from me, there was this mailman. And one day, I don't know who called the cops. I think the wife maybe came home and reported it. He was stabbed 27 times in the chest and died on the floor in the living room. But he was with his 2-year-old or younger daughter, and she just thought he was taking a nap because she was so little. She had no idea. And for years they investigated. A lot of years went by, and then all of a sudden, she was cleared of it, everything, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue. It was the guy she was sleeping with that she told him to do it. He just confessed. I guess went to the police and confessed that he did it. And it was crazy. I think I still have the fucking article in my room because it was two blocks away from me. Not even.
Oh, wow.
It was on the way to my friend's house that I always went to. It was just crazy. Yeah.
Huh. No, that's a new one on me. I haven't heard that story. That's crazy.
Have you found any cool stories from Jersey or New York?
Let's see. Yeah, well, the Fuka one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
The Kitty Genovese is New York. I also did the John Lennon shooting. That was in New York.
Cool.
There's a lot of stuff in New York.
I know.
Well, Biggie was from New York, but he actually got shot in L.A. I did that one. Who else is over there? Anything else? Yeah, I guess those would be.
We're gonna say Pete.
There's a lot of California. There's a lot of New York.
Yeah.
Well,
the Iceman I know was active out here because they say off Stage Road, when you drive out into the pines, right there.
That's around here.
He actually buried some of his corpses out there.
When was that?
This was back. I think he was active during the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
He worked for the mob. That guy.
I was gonna say they said that there was a lot of bodies buried in the off the Parkway down here. That was
right
from the mafia.
Yep.
And they said, remember when they burned the woods in the 90s? Were you too young? I think I had just moved down here. And all the woods got burned around here, around the Parkway, and they were saying it was probably the mafia.
Yeah, it could very well have been.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was one of the rumors. And what other you just did the Sweetheart Killers? What other type of things like that have you done? Have you done celebrities or politicians or?
Yeah, so the way I do it is I group the episodes into topics. So that one was, like I said, couples who killed together. That was that one, and I do one episode for each case or each one of those. So I've done so I did one about musical icons So in those I did a episode about Kurt Cobain.
Nice.
I did one about Tupac and Biggie and their shootings and the mystery or not mystery surrounding those, depending on how what you believe. I also did Marvin Gaye. If you remember, Marvin Gaye was killed by his father.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a crazy story. Yeah, a super crazy story.
What about Phil Hartman? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have Phil Hartman on the list, and that's for there's so many Hollywood. There's so many Hollywood.
Yeah.
Murders.
Who was the other one? I know about Shatner. His wife died in the pool, right? And who was the other guy? Blake? Robert Burke or Robert Blake?
Robert Blake. Yeah, Robert Blake.
Yeah,
you got OJ. You got Robert Blake. You got Marlon Brando's son, Christian Brando, who shot his sister's boyfriend. I mean, there's a lot of them. You would think that these guys, they're living the life, right? No, they shouldn't be out shooting people, but
some of them
happens, I guess.
Shannon got away with it, basically, right? Didn't they say he basically drowned his wife in the pool? And...
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Only I said, she was drunk in all the pool, I mean.
But what did Hartman? His wife shot him, right in the backyard.
Yeah,
or something?
His wife. Yeah, she was. Yeah,
she was crazy.
She had some kind of a mental break or something, and but then she committed suicide, right after too. So,
Oh.
Like within hours. Yeah, she had left, and when they found her, she had shot herself too.
What do you think about Cobain? Who do you think did it?
So, yeah, that's the thing. So I went through, I think the Kurt Cobain episode, it's one of the most popular ones I did, and it's one of the longest I did, because the guy, for having only lived till, 27, he was a very complicated guy.
Yeah.
Very complicated guy. But when you go really into his history and you see it all, he had, a huge amount of, very, very deep amount of depression, and just was not a happy guy. He was just not a happy guy. And so you got to look at the evidence and say, okay, could he have shot himself? And first of all, these things, because I watched both sides. I watched documentaries and read things from both sides, and people, said, oh, he loved life and he was happy and things are great and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he had almost died multiple times in the months leading up to, and okay, I can understand you overdosing, because the guy was, a huge heroin addict, but I can understand that. But the fact that you almost die from overdoses multiple times within, days or weeks of each other, you ain't trying to be too careful. You know what I mean? Like you at that point you think, and the thing is, if you do so much heroin, though, as much as he did, people said that they couldn't believe that he could survive as much as he did, that he would know his limit and what, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's, what I've heard is that you kind of know, unless you get something that's super strong that you had no clue and you took your regular amount and it totally just, blew your heart out or whatever, then you usually can, how to maintain that stuff. But, but multiple times he, almost died over and over and over again. And I mean, Courtney Love, I had to revive him, and just the other guy who was around all the time, had to revive him multiple times.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And oh yeah, and they knew exactly what to do because it happened so often. So,
wow.
And I think that's maybe what it was. Is he thought, what, I can't even die.
I just don't think he would have had. I don't think he would have been able to shoot himself if he was that whacked out on heroin. I don't know.
Yeah, so you have to listen to the episode, because I have actually Justin Evans from Generation Y. He kind of he gives his take on if that could have happened or not, and it made a lot of sense. So
cool.
I actually did a little interview with him, a little short interview with him, and he tells that part of it, like, what he believes about that.
Definitely,
yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always going to be, and that's the reason why I did, those about the musical icons like Tupac and Kurt Cobain and stuff, because no matter what, it seems like these people are like larger than life, and nobody wants to believe that they could die a death that, just like anybody else could die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to believe there's more to it, there's a conspiracy, or there's something weird, or there's something off, and maybe sometimes there is, but I think a lot of times it's just hard for us to wrap our brains around that somebody could just die when they're so much larger than life, and I think that's part of it.
Kurt Cobain, though, you could just tell in his lyrics, even.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, you think?
It was like
that video. It was the one where it was Jesus dying. It was from the In Utero album. It was just so.
He just kind of hinted that he wanted to kill himself in all of his songs.
I think he more than hinted. I think he more than hinted.
Just said it outright.
I want to die. Kill me now.
Yeah.
I'm Kurt Cobain. Get it?
I'm gonna shoot myself with a shotgun
in the head multiple times.
That song, Penny Royal Tea. It's basically about him just mixing different drugs together.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was a whacked out broad too, though. Courtney.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
They were a train wreck together, but I mean,
holy shit.
One of those relationships, right? I got to do Sid and Nancy one of these days, because that's another one of those.
I watched the movie, and it's really messed up.
It's crazy. Oh.
The two of them, before they died, they just rotted in a hotel room.
Who's sitting there?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Sid and Nancy, Sid Vicious.
Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy thing.
They just rotted?
They basically just sat and did hair. Well, what I mean by that is they sat there and just shot up, and let themselves just waste away.
Wow. Esther, it was great talking to you. Where can everybody find you and your show?
So iTunes or anywhere where you find podcasts, just look for Once Upon a Crime, and you'll find me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us.
All right. Cool. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Good
Have a
one.
good one.
Okay. Bye-bye.